I have to ask about the giant stones that Inca has been able to somehow move and fit together perfectly. Do you understand? Is it understood how they were able to do that so well?
No. um, the moving of it, I think that we have reasonable theories. There are ways to pivot large weights. There's a great guy named Wally Wallington, a retired contractor here in the U.S., who built Stonehenge in his backyard in Minnesota single-handedly, showing how you can move big stones. So I think Wally's already figured out how to move them. It's the perfectly fit, so carefully fit together that you couldn't even put a dime in between the stones. That's the one that I think still has people baffled. The common archaeological wisdom that you'd find out of a textbook is that they just kept pecking away at it with hammerstones and setting them and resetting them until they were perfect, which has to be bullshit. That is, there's no way that they just were that meticulous. I mean, everybody's got a hammerstone. I personally think it's acids. I think they melted them together. And there are weird places when you really look at closely to these stones, which I've done a number of times. I'm going back next month to Machu Picchu and especially Cusco. I walk around in the alleys where these 500, to 1,000-year-old walls are still there. And I see things like the crystals in the andesite are almost stitched together along the seams. Like there's the andesite around it is melted and the crystals haven't. And there are other places where there are weird wipes on the wall. Like it's just melted, like somebody took a rag and wiped it while it was soft. Lots of talk about soft stones turning hard too. I haven't been able to prove it. This is one of these, end of my archaeological career chapters. I'm either going to prove myself wrong or prove it. But I think they used acids. My dad's a chemist, and he told me a long time ago that there's no naturally occurring acids. But my current theory, actually, I got the idea initially from the show Breaking Bad. I don't know if you ever saw that show, but there's a point in which they're trying to dissolve a body.
Yeah.
And they're using hydrofluoric acid, and it goes right through the ceiling. That hydrofluoric acid is so fascinating. It won't go through plastic, and you can also bring it in inert parts and then combine it. The Inca made tons of jewelry out of fluorite. Fluorite is big in the Andes. And they also mined a lot of things for gold and silver, and the byproduct of that mining is sulfuric acid. You put sulfuric acid and fluorite together, and it's hydrofluoric acid. And that will burn through andesite or anything. And if you learned how to do it, judiciously, and you didn't care whether, servants lost an arm or two, then you could actually use them to fuse these together. And I think they're fused together. I asked the city of Cusco if I could take some core samples, and they said, "Go away, gringo. Don't touch our walls." So this next time I'm going to go try to talk to the more Quechua authorities in a place called Ollantaytambo, and maybe I can convince them. But right now they just think I'm a weird ass gringo who wants to put holes in their walls.
That's a fascinating theory. And so how could you get to the bottom of that? So getting core samples to see if there's some kind of trace.
Chemists I'm working with say that if there was hydrofluoric acid in between these, that a core sample right along a seam, they can separate out the elements in there and detect whether there was actually elements of hydrofluoric acid. I wanted to go straight to burning rocks, but they were like, no, we already know that's true. I mean, yeah, we can burn some rocks, but it would happen. That's just chemistry. We gotta prove that it would happen in the walls. So go get us samples. And that was before COVID and all sorts of, you know how it is. You probably are the same guy where you've got a thousand ideas, and the ones that are fruitful you run with, and the other ones you'll get back to.
That would be fascinating if true, and I hope you do show that it's true or false, either one.
I'll try to disprove it.
Disprove it, yeah. I wonder if we discount how much amazing stuff a collection of humans can do, because it just feels like if a large number of humans are just working a little bit, chipping away at stuff at scale, they can do miraculous things. So the question is, how can a large number of humans be motivated to do a thing? Because I just when we think about like Stonehenge or some very challenging architectural construction, we don't think about a large number of humans working together.
Well, that large number of humans are motivated to work together by a small number of administrators who are dynamic and convincing in some way or another.
Right.
One of my favorite quotes is, and I'm probably going to misquote it here, but I think it's Margaret Mead who said, "Never underestimate the power of small groups working together." And the truth is that those are the only people that have ever changed the world. That small, dedicated groups of people are what change the world.
Yeah.
And they inspire big groups of people to embrace their vision.
Yeah. Yeah. I think we sometimes underestimate how much humans can do across time.
And we are
scale.
way less capable than we used to be. I mean, the average human had all sorts of skills that at least I personally do not. I'm wearing a shirt, but I can't make a shirt. That's for somebody else to do.